Okay, let us consider here. So you have a differential band break. So as shown in the figure. So the angle of contact is given and the force is also given. They're asking you to identify what is the force P required when the uh, drum is rotating in clockwise, and the next what happens when it rotates in anti-clockwise. These are the two things they are asking. Then what will be the value of OA for the brake to be self-locking? Right? That is also applicable only when drum rotates in clockwise direction. For that only they are asking, not for anti-clockwise direction. Okay. So let us write down what are the what are the data given here. So then we will proceed. So the given data. So you have angle of contact theta, which is equal to 2225 degree. Right. So this actually I have to put in radians. So what I will do, I will multiply with pi and divide by 180. So I get theta value in terms of radians. Okay. So this is the first thing. Then they are given what is the drum, right? So the drum diameter is given. So we will be using in terms of radius. So radius of the drum is 350 divided by 2. Right? It is around 175 mm. What is the value of theta? So we are getting 3.9.
3.925, sir.
Yeah, we are getting 2.926 radians. Okay, so these are the values. Then they are given what is the torque. Torque is also given. So torque is given T, which is equal to 350 Newton meter. So they mentioned as 350 Newton meter, but everything we are solving in mm. So I am converting this. So it will be 350 into 10 power 3 Newton mm. Right? Then coefficient of friction mu is given. So the last value. So mu is 0.3. Right? These are the data. Okay. So now we have to solve. We have to identify what is my force P when your drum is rotating in clockwise and anti-clockwise direction. Okay. Okay. First, let us consider. So our drum is rotating in clockwise direction. Right. So clockwise rotation. So for that, let us identify. Then we will proceed for anti-clockwise direction. Okay. So when your drum is rotating in clockwise, yeah, it is rotating like this. Right. So it is rotating like this. In that case, this B will be having T1. So this will be my T1, right? Because this is my tight side. So when I go here, this will be a slack side, T2, right? So I know equation T1 by T2 is equal to e power mu theta. This is one formula I know. Then I know torque is equal to T1 minus T2 into radius of the drum. Right? These are the two formulas I know, which I can use it to identify the values of your torque. Right? So, okay, before that, right? So we will find out. So what are the equations you are getting in terms of these two? Okay. So what you will get? So I get T1 divided by T2 is equal to e power mu I know. So mu is 0.3 and theta is 3.92. So 0.3 into 3.926. Yeah.
Just a minute. Slack in சொல்லும்போது direction மாறாது. T2.
So I am concentrating only on this lever. Your tension is always outward. So what will be the value of T1 in terms of T2? 3.247 T2. Right? This is, let me consider this as equation 1. Okay. Now I know what is my torque. Right? So I can substitute this also. I will consider this also as another equation. Right? So torque, you know the value, which is 350. T1 minus T2. So I will write it like this. So T1 minus T2 into radius of the drum, which is 175, is equal to this 350 into 10 power 3. 350 into 10 power 3, which means I will get T1 minus T2 is equal to 350 10 power 3 divided by your 175. You're getting 2000. Right? This is equation 2. So you can solve 1 and 2. To find the value of T1 and T2. Right? So solving 1 and 2, what you are getting? What is your T1 and what is your T2? Yeah, 890 Newton. What about T1? That is 2000 minus 890. 8905. Right? So now I identify these two values. So I identify T1 and identify T2. This is common even when it is rotating in anti-clockwise direction. Okay, make sure. So even it rotates in anti-clockwise, it doesn't matter. So only your T1, T2 changes, but your formula is same. So it is tight side by slack side. Okay, it is always tight side by slack side. So there is no change in these formulas, right? So you will get the same value of T1 and T2. Only thing is the force will differ. Instead of this as T1, this will be T1, right? That alone will change. Okay. Now I'm putting here now again. So as we discussed earlier, so it is rotating in clockwise direction. So my force, this is my tension force T1 because this is my tight side and this is my slack side. Okay. Now I am going to take moment at point O. This is my point O. Let me take moment at O. Right? When I take moment at O, right? So force into perpendicular distance, rotating in clockwise. So P into 500. So minus P into 500. Okay. Next, T1. T1 into 35. It is also rotating in clockwise, right? So which means minus 35 into T1. Okay. Then T2. Right? This T2 it is rotating in anti-clockwise direction. And rotates in anti-clockwise direction plus T3 into 150 is equal to 0. Right? So that's our overall values here. Right? So it is in positive value. Right? Now, I know the values of T1, T2, everything. Only thing is I have to identify what is the value of P. So I will write the P value here. So P value is equal to bringing this on the other side. So we will get a positive P. Others will be same. So we will get 150 into T2 minus 35 into T1 divided by 500. Right? So you are getting 64.7 Newton. Okay, good. So now I got the values of this P. Right? Any doubt in this? In finding the value of P. Right. So I am rotating in clockwise. Clockwise, இன்னொரு question கேட்டிருக்காங்க. அதையும் complete பண்ணிடலாம். Right? இது இன்னும் complete ஆகல. This is partially completed because we completed only clockwise. They are also asking what is the force P when it is rotating in anti-clockwise direction. Okay. So we will leave that. So before that, so clockwise they are asking one more. What is the value of OA for the brake to be self-locked? Okay. So value of OA. So value of OA is nothing but 150, right? So which means I will write this equation in a different way. I will write this equation in a different way. So what I can do, I can write P is equal to, instead of 150, I will put OA. OA is nothing but that value into T2 minus 35 T1 divided by 500. Right? So this is my value. Right? So only thing is, I know the values of this P and all, so your T2 and all. So I will substitute that also. So OA into T2 value. T2 value is 890 minus 35 into T1 value is 2890 divided by 500. Right? So now I have to change the value of this OA right? I have to change this value of OA so that my P will be negative, right? Or so I can say that P is 0. I will put P is equal to 0 and let us find out what is the value of OA, right? Let's find out what is the value of OA if P is 0, right? So what happens? So you will get OA into 980.
Sir, when P is equal to 0, OA is equal to 113.65 mm.
So you are getting OA is equal to 113.65
113.65 mm.
mm. Okay. What happens if we increase this OA?
It will not be, sir.
Will you get P positive value or negative value? Or let me check this one A. OA here is 150.
Positive, sir. Positive.
Right? So it means when I increase my OA, your P becomes positive, right? Which means your OA in between 1 to 113.65 mm, right? Are you getting it? So when I reduce my value of OA, you will get negative self-locking, right? When you increase the value, you will get a positive value, which means it is not self-locking, right? So my OA for self-locking, the value should be from 1, not 0. So what happens if it is 0? It will be a simple band break. Are you able to get it? So when it becomes 0, when this distance becomes 0, it becomes simple band break, what we discussed last class. For simple band break, there is no self-locking, right? So it won't apply, it is not applicable, right? Because that tension, this tension will be 0, right? There is no distance, proper distance, so this tension will be 0, right? There won't be any self-locking, right? So that is why I am putting 1 here, or I can also put 0.1. It is up to you, right? So this is the range. This is the range where your OA should be in self-locking, right? But according to question, I can write that minimum distance is 113.65 mm. Right? This is my minimum distance. Right? Any doubt on this?
No, sir.
Right. Now we will proceed with the next step. So I think we completed this part. So we have one more thing which you have to identify what will be happening when it is rotating in anti-clockwise direction. Now I say that it is rotating in anti-clockwise direction. Right? It is rotating in anti-clockwise. So which means the rotation is like this. The rotation is like this, right? You know that this will be T1, right? This will be T1 and this will be T2. Right? Already we identify what is the value of this T1 and T2. So we know T1 is around 2890 and 890. This is 2890 and T1 is 890. We know that. So we are going to substitute it. Only thing is I have to take moment, right? I am going to take moment at this point O. Let me take moment at O. Right?
Sir, sorry, sir. Sir, when the T1 and T2 changes because of the direction, the value also will be interchanged, no, sir?
Yes, this is T1 now. This is T2 now.
But in the previous also, we are getting T1 as 2890 only, no, sir?
Yeah, in this is T1, this is T2.
Yes, sir. In this is T1, sir. This force is 2890 Newton, sir. Torque is 2890 Newton mm, sir. Then in the next case, T200.
இல்லப்பா நான் அதான் முன்னாடியே சொன்னேன் இது clockwise rotate ஆனாலும் anti clockwise rotate ஆனாலும் இந்த ஃபார்முலா சேஞ்ச் ஆகாது.
Yes, sir.
ஃபார்முலா என்னது tight side divided by slack side is equal to e power mu theta.
Sir, value change ஆகாதுன்னு.
என்ன
Sir,
T1
நான் வேல்யூ தான் சார் கேக்குறேன்.
அதாவது நான் இத T1 எடுத்துக்கிறேன், இது T2 எடுத்துக்கிறேன்னு சொல்றீங்களா?
இல்ல சார், நீங்க எடுத்துக்கிற மாதிரியே எடுத்தா கூட வந்து சைடு சேஞ்ச் ஆனா வேல்யூ இன்டர்சேஞ்ச் ஆகும் இல்லன்னு கேக்குறேன் சார்.
வேல்யூ எப்படி இன்டர்சேஞ்ச் ஆகும்? புரியல நீங்க. சரி, இது வந்து இது ரைட் சைடுல ரொட்டேட் ஆகுது. ஆனா இது வந்து 2890 இருக்கும், இது 890 இருக்கும், அவ்வளவுதான்.
ஓகே சார்.
ரைட். ஆக்சுவலா போன ப்ராப்ளம்னா இது 890, இது சாரி இது வந்து 2890, இது 890 போன ப்ராப்ளத்துல.
ஓகே சார்.
ரைட். இந்த ப்ராப்ளத்துல இது 2890 அப்படியே மாறுது, அவ்வளவுதான். ஷிஃப்ட் ஆகுது, அவ்வளவுதான். பிகாஸ் இதுதான் ரைட் சைடு, அதுதான், வேற எதுவும் கிடையாது. இதை நீங்க திருப்பி மாத்தீங்கன்னா there is no use.
ஓகே சார். ஓகே சார்.
ரைட், அதை அப்படியே வச்சுக்கோங்க. So now let me take moment at point O. If I take moment at point O, what will get? It is rotating in clockwise. So minus P into 500. Minus P into 500. And this one, right? Minus T2 into 35. Right? Minus T2 into 35 is equal to, I'm putting on other side. So actually in the plus no. Okay, I don't want to confuse. Plus P1 into 150. Right? This is equal to 0. So this is rotating in anti-clockwise, the other two is rotating in clockwise. In that case, we can identify P into 550, so 500 will be equal to, bringing this on the other side. So we'll get 150 into T1 minus 35 into T2. Right? So I will write it again. So your P will be equal to 150 into 2890 minus 35 into 890 divided by 500. So what is your value of P? 804.7 Newton. Right? This is the value of P. Now that's it. So we completed this problem. So okay, let us discuss a few more things. So you get when it is rotating in clockwise, you are getting your P as around 64, right? You are getting P as around 64. You can able to see here, right? So when it rotates in anti-clockwise, you are getting your P as around 804.7, right? Now, can you tell me which is the best brake?
Clockwise.
Yeah, clockwise is the best brake, right? So when you compare this to, the value of P should be minimum. So which means to apply the brake, you need less force to apply it. Okay, so which means lesser value is considered. In that case, the best brake will be when it is rotating in clockwise. Let me consider, I don't have the feasibility in changing the direction of the rotation of the drum, right? I can't able to change the direction of the drum. Okay, it is always rotating in anti-clockwise, right? It is always rotating in anti-clockwise, but I have to get that same P value. I want to get that same P value in different way, right? In different way. What you can do?
Change the direction of the force P.
Okay, what happens if you change the direction of the force P? So changing the direction of force, right? So if I change the direction of force P, automatically it becomes that it is rotating in clockwise direction. So what you will get? You will get the same formula. You will get 64, right? If this, instead of this, if I change it like this, right? This P. What happens? Automatically this will become positive, then everything will change, right? Will shift and you will get a lesser value, right? So that is another way in identifying your values, right? And one more important thing is, always make sure that in this brakes, right? If I call this as A, OA is A and OB as B, right? So always A is greater than B, right? Always A is greater than B. It is not in opposite side because it acts as a lever. It acts as a lever. When I apply a force, it is acting as a lever. So when this is lesser, so there is no effect, much effect. So most of the cases, your A is always greater than your B. Let me take a problem related to that. Okay, so let me consider this one. Yeah. Right. There is no diagram here. Right. It is fully a statement problem, which you have to draw the diagram. Right. Okay. So what it says, in a winch, the rope supports a load W and is wound around a barrel of 450 mm diameter. Right. So you have a winch and you have a load W, which is at the diameter of 450. A differential crankbait has on the drum 800 mm diameter, which is keyed with the same shaft as the barrel. So connect, right? So okay, in that case, my first thing is I have to draw a differential bearing brake, so which is at a distance of diameter. How much? 800. So which means your radius of my drum is 400 mm. That is my first step. Next, two ends of the bands are attached to pins on opposite sides of the fulcrum of the brake lever at a distance of 25 mm and 100 mm from the fulcrum. So I think I will draw this brake. So it will be like this, right? So let me consider your brake is like this. Something like this. Okay, this is my force P. This is my hinge point O, right? And this one is A, and the other one is B, right? As I told you, right? So I don't have much space. Actually, on the B on the come here, right? Otherwise, I will put it here. Doesn't matter, right? So now this is connected to your band. So this is connected to your drum. It is like this. Okay, it is connected to the drum. Okay, it says that you have a distance of the fulcrum, so you can able to see opposite sides of the fulcrum of the brake lever. You are having 25 mm and 100 mm. As I told you, this will always be 100. This will be 25. Whichever is greater, that has to be on this side, on the left hand side. The lesser value should be on the right hand side. Which means A is 100, B is 25. Okay, don't put it in opposite side. I think even if you put, there won't be much change, I think so. But always you consider that brake A is always greater than B. Okay, then the angle is given. The angle of lap of the belt is given, so which means the connection. So from here to here, the contact is around 250 degree. Right? Coefficient of friction is given. So all these things are given. Let us substitute. So and they are given that what is the maximum load in which W can be supported for the brake. So of course there is a brake which is applied here, right? So the brake is applied for 750 Newton, right, at a distance of 3000 meter from the fulcrum. So 3000 mm, which means this distance from here to here, it is 3000. Right? So this is my diagram. So other than this, of course, there is one more thing. You have another circle here. Yeah, another circle here. So which is this barrel diameter. And in this barrel, you are having that weight W. Right? So my aim is to identify maximum load W can withstand. Right, maximum load that you can withstand. Okay, that is my question. Okay, right. So I will consider this in two ways. What happens if you fix the W here? So when you fix the W here, your brake drum will be rotating in clockwise direction. Right? So what happens if I fix it on this side? So if I consider this as W, what happens? Your brake drum will be rotating in anti-clockwise direction. So my aim is to identify what will be the value of this, right? What will be the value of this when it is rotating in clockwise and when it is rotating in anti-clockwise. In this, you have to identify the maximum value. What is the maximum value of W which can be stuck? Okay. Right. Any doubt in the question?
Sir, so we have to find for both clockwise and anti-clockwise, and which is the maximum we have to write as an answer.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
in the last problem, we saw that clockwise the force is coming less. So it depends from problem to problem.
Yes, it will change.
For each situation, it will differ from problem to problem, and for each problem, we have to do for both clockwise and anti-clockwise. If they ask open-ended question like this.
Yes. So until they specify, so sometimes they will specify it is clockwise. In that case, you concentrate only on that. If they are not specified anything, and if there is a term like maximum or minimum, right? Of course, you have to go for both direction to identify. Right? Okay. Right. So let me consider. So your R is given, which is 400 mm diameter, right? Which is the brake drum diameter, and you have distances, right? So 2500 and angle of left theta. So theta is 250 degree. I have to convert it to radians, which means 250 into pi divided by 180. So what is the value of theta?
4.3633.
4.3633 radians. Okay, thank you. So now mu is also given, which is 0.25. Mu is also given, which is 0.25. Right. So let me draw a little bit free body diagram for this. Before that, let us identify what will be your T1, T2 relation. Right. So whether you can able to identify the values based on that. Okay. So of course, there will be change in both these things. I think I have to do it separately, right? So no other book, because your T1, T2 will change. Will be because previously the problem they are asked you to identify force, as now the force is given, which means only way to identify this T1, T2 is taking moment and equating to that T1, T2 relation. Right. So in that case, so your moment will change when it is rotating in clockwise or anti-clockwise. So we will do it like that. So let me consider that your drum is rotating in clockwise. Right. So I will draw a simple diagram, and this will be T1 if this is rotating in clockwise, and this will be T2 which is rotating in anti-clockwise. So in the other direction. Right. So slack side. So this is 100. It's 25. Right? Okay. So let me relate it. So let me say that first T1 by T2 is equal to e power mu theta. This is common. So what I'll get? I will get T1 which is equal to T2 into e power, so 0.25 into 4.363. What is the value of this? 2.976 T2. Yeah, this is my first relation. Now let me take moment at point O. Right, if I take moment at point O, so 750 into 3000, rotating in anti-clockwise. So 750 into 3000 is moment at O. Right? So 750 into 3000. T1 into 25. Minus T1 into 25. This is positive, plus 100 into T2 is equal to 0. Right? So now I can relate this, right? So because I have this also, one equation 1 also, I can substitute it. I can identify what is the value of T1 and T2. Can you tell me what is the value of T1 and T2? Yeah, if I want, we can also include few more steps. So I can write it as 100 T2 minus 25 T1 is equal to 750 into 2000. right? I can substitute it. Let me consider this as equation 2. 2 and 1. We can find out. What is the value of T1 and T2. 26156.
562.5.
Okay.
T2 is coming as 87890.625.
878.
90.625.
Are you getting this? Everyone getting the same value? Similar type of values?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, very good. So now I identify this one. Right? I will complete in just 2 more minutes. So I will identify what is the torque. Right? Torque is equal to T1 minus T2 into radius of the drum. So radius of the drum is 400. Okay. So which means it is 261,562.5 minus 87890.62 into 400. So what is my target? 69.468
Or points, sir.
Point 11.
Okay, sir.
into 10.6 Newton.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so this is my torque. But you know that you have a weight. So this weight torque is equal to the drum torque. Okay, so weight torque is nothing but T into the weight torque. Let me consider this as TW. So this TW is equal to W into radius of that weight torque. Okay, so that is given. So already in the question. So it is 450. The barrel is 450. So 450 divided by 2 is we are getting around 225, right? So W into 225. That is my weight torque. This both are same, right? Which means I can equate it. So W into 225
Sir.
is equal to this.
Sir, just a minute, sir. Both the torques are same. Only then the two drums can be within each other, within equilibrium. Only
Yes. It is attached to the same shaft, so it is in equilibrium state. So we are equating it. So we are getting, so when we equate it, so 69.468 into 10.6 divided by this W. So it will get 0.468 10.6 divided by 225. We are getting 308.74 kilonewton. This is my W value. Right? This is my W value. Right? So we have identified W when it is rotating in clockwise. Right? So what happens? So now I will identify the same concept, same thing we are going to do it when it is rotating in anti-clockwise. Right? So the anti-clockwise is T1 item, is T2 item. So in the equation same, in the moment எடுக்கும்போது மட்டும் மாறும், sign மாறும். Right? So sign மாறிட்டு அதுக்கு valuesலாம் மாறும். So அது மாறிச்சுனா T1 T2 திருப்பி புதுசா கண்டுபிடிப்பீங்க. அதை வச்சு you have to identify what is my torque. And the target திருப்பி W into 225 ஓட relate பண்ணினா you will get another W. இதுல வந்து எது maximum, right? That has to be considered. Right? So any doubt in this?